Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tia. It has been a long time since I last filmed a video. I think it was exactly a year ago, and actually I think the last video that I posted is actually private now. But anyway, if you are just here for the journal flip through, then I will leave a timestamp right here on the screen so you can go exactly to that part and watch what you are interested in here. But if you are a longtime subscriber and you are wondering where I've been for the last year, I feel like I need to give a tiny explanation that it might be sort of weird if I just pop in after a year. But really, there's not a giant explanation. It's just that I became overwhelmed with booktube, filming videos, editing videos, and everything that I was doing in my own personal life as well. It felt like all the time that I was using for filming and editing was really taking away from things that I needed to be doing here in my real life. So I took a really long break, and I am back now. If you've always watched my videos, you've seen that I have done journal videos throughout the years, and they were actually some of my favorite things to do. I wasn't completely consistent with them because I guess I wasn't that confident in them. But anyway, this year I have decided that I want to come back with journal videos, and I'm not sure if or how much you will ever actually see my face, because that is another thing that takes a long time, is to get ready and set up a room and a camera and get all your books out. I mean, it's just very time consuming, and it was taking over my entire weekends, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So really long story cut really short here into 2 minutes. But yeah, that's basically the shortened version of where I was for the last year. I'm sorry if you had been expecting videos from me, or if you missed seeing videos from me. I totally understand. I have had, people that I watch consistently and they just disappear. And while logically I know that is their prerogative, obviously they can do what they want with their own life, it does leave, leaves you a little bit sad that you're used to watching them consistently and then they're just gone. So I am sorry about that. And if you are still here as a subscriber, I thank you. And I thank you if you have messaged me over the last year and asked me how I was doing, or told me that you missed my content. I very much greatly appreciate that. It did mean a lot to me. And I hope that you will be here to watch my content this year as well. So here I am jumping into this journal this year. Over the years, I've tried a lot of different sizes of journals. I've done a Hobonichi Weeks, which was very small. I've done, I think it was an A4, A6, I don't know. One of the smaller ones was probably the last one that you saw me do in 2022. I've of course done an A5, which is the more common size, but this year I have a bigger size, one that I have not tried before. It is a B5, and it is from Archer and Olive, and it is a Neapolitan journal, which means that it has 3 different colors of pages. So it has white, brown or craft paper, and then black. The pages are 160 GSM, which is really thick pages, which I absolutely love. And there are 160 pages in this journal. I will leave a link to it in the description box, but as you can see, it does have this Big Dipper symbol on the front, and it's in a navy blue cloth cover. It does kind of look black on the screen, but I think that is just my lighting, and I apologize for the lighting, but I really don't know what to do about it. If you have suggestions, you can certainly leave them. It is bright outside. My windows are open, my lights are on, and I still have crazy shadows, and I don't know what to do about them. You can see my camera right here and my microphone cord in the shadow, and my hands are making shadows, and I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, so I will leave this journal link down below, but let's just open it up and I will show you what I have set up for 2024 so far. And if you have any questions about anything, please be sure to leave them down in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. Now, I am certainly not a professional at this, but I do enjoy doing it. I have been using a reading journal for several years now, like I said, in many different sizes, and I have tried out different styles like doodling all of the pages, drawing all the pages. I have done only washi. I have done only lists. I've done stickers and different sizes, and I've done planner kits, and yeah. So this year I'm trying out like a scrapbooky sticker style, I guess you would say. And originally I had planned to be consistent with the colors and the style throughout the journal, but I just don't think that's me. I don't think I can be consistent. I found myself going off into different color palettes, which you will see as we go, but it's fine. So this is just the very intro page. It's just basically the back of the cover here. I just covered the entire thing with scrapbook paper and then put in different stickers and washi and ephemera, which you can buy ephemera kits on Amazon. They are very cheap, very reasonably priced, and they come with hundreds of tiny pieces of paper and stickers that are all color coordinated. And I have about 4 different ones of those, and they are really helpful, and I highly recommend them. So you just get on Amazon and search ephemera, whatever subject you're looking for, like vintage or romantic or gothic, they have it all. So here I have a quote from The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, which is not, one of my favorite books, but I do love this quote. So it says, "Kiss a lover, dance a measure, find your name and buried treasure, face your life, its pain, its pleasure, leave no path untaken." I just think that is a perfect quote for starting the new year, about facing your life, its pain and its pleasure, not trying to hide from things or, bury your head in the covers. So yeah, I wanted to include it here. And then my goals this year, I am keeping to a minimum. In the past, I have made big goals and big TBRs for the year, and I have discovered that it just never works for me and I always fail. So this year I'm hoping for success. So I want to read 100 books, which this past year I read over 200. So 100 should be okay unless I focus on big books. So we'll see. I want to complete this journal this year. I don't know if I've ever made a journal all the way to the end of the year before I gave up, but this year, this is going to be my year, okay? This year, I'm going to complete this journal. I want to increase my NetGalley percentage, which is a goal every single year, and I think last year I increased it by 1%, which is still an increase. I would like to increase it more than just 1% this year, but 1% will still be an increase, so we'll see. I want to read at least 12 Book of the Month Club books. Now, I wrote this before they came out with their challenge, and their challenge this year is to read 15 books. So really, I would like to read 15, but 12 here is, one a month, so that will be okay too. And I would like to reduce my TBR. Really, my physical TBR, but it would be good to reduce every TBR that I have, my NetGalley TBR, my Manga TBR, my Kindle TBR, etc. And then this sticker right here is from Etsy, and I can leave this linked down below as well if you're interested in it. Obviously, it's custom one with my name on it. Okay, and then this inside cover, which you can't really do a ton with because it doesn't really lay flat. And this side doesn't have dots on it. So on this one, I just did the grid spacing guide so that I can easily know exactly what is half vertically and half horizontally, as well as I divided this into thirds and fourths in case I need that reference in future layouts. And this has helped because that way I didn't have to count the boxes every single time I did a layout. I had already had it counted and figured out exactly how much was half, so that was nice. Okay, and then this first spread here is my index page. I feel like I almost always use an index page. Scribbles That Matters has one that's just automatically put in there. and I did fill that out. Now, whether or not I actually reference it throughout the year is a different matter, but I do usually fill it in. So yeah, I had a fun time decorating this page, and I think it turned out nice. Again, like I said, it's just stickers and washi and scrapbook paper. I have also started using PET tape or PET tape, which this is PET tape from the washi tape shop. It comes in a big roll, and you cut out the pieces that you want to use and you just stick them in, and it is very, 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 very high quality. It does not peel up, which is so nice. A lot of the washi, like this washi I got at Michael's, and these two, and they peel up, and I found myself having to like glue washi edges back down, which is a pain. So it's nice to have some tape that does not peel back up. Okay, and then I have the 2024 bookshelfie. This is a stamp that I got on Amazon actually, and I stamped in 2 pages of books here. I think there were 220 somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact number, but I put in about as many as I read this past year because I'm anticipating reading that amount again, but I don't think I'll go over that. So if I do, I can just add a little flip out right here for the extra books, but I think this should be plenty. And here I have the key that I'm going to use. I'm going to fill in each book by the genre this time. And I tried to go with a more muted color palette so it won't be, so the colors won't be too different from each other, but I don't know. We'll see how it works. It's always so hard to tell how your color palette is going to work until you have the shelf filled in. And I found myself regretting color choices in the past, but we'll see about this as the year goes on. Okay. And then let's see, after this, I have a spread for my yearly book haul. Can you see so these are stickers up here. The lighting is not showing them near as well as you can see it in real life. But anyway, so it just says book haul, and this is more washi, of course. And I have a square for each month. And this right here, January, this is all the books I can buy, okay? We are trying to keep the book hauls to this many lines each month. The only one that I can see being a problem would be my birthday month, which is May, and December, which is Christmas, but I really am trying to keep this to a minimum. I'm hoping to have a much smaller book haul this year than in previous years. And then this spread is my Goodreads goal. I did not put numbers on all of the boxes, but I do think this is over 200 boxes, if I remember correctly. The reason why I didn't number them yet is because some of the colors that I chose are darker colors, and they would have just colored over the black numbers. But I do have white jelly roll pens, so on the dark numbers I will just write on the dark boxes. I would just write the numbers in white, and with the lighter colored ones I'll use my black micron pen, which is, those are 2 of the main pens that I use in my journal. Anyway, so this spread, the key, I'm going to color these in by month. So yeah, a little bit different than my bookshelfie. Okay, and then here I'm doing bar graphs, which I have done in the past as well. So if you've been following me for a long time, you've probably seen these spreads before, but you might have forgotten. I mean, listen, I've watched a ton of journal content over the years, and believe me, I understand it's hard to remember whose journal looks like what after you've watched so many of them. But anyway, so yeah, this is just, the months at the bottom and the page numbers right here. So I'm going to keep track of how many pages I read each month and how many books I read each month. These are going to be color coordinated based on physical TBR, whether or not I borrowed it, or if it's a book of the month club book, if it's a reread, a NetGalley book, or a Kindle book. And that way I can just see at a glance, you know, which months I'm reading the most and which ones I'm reading less, that type of thing. This is going to be my 2024 year-end book covers. So I do have this Canon IV2, I think it is. I think this is an IV2, but it might not be. I don't know. It's an IV either way. I just don't remember if it's a 1 or a 2. But and this prints out tiny stickers, and you can put book covers on here in different arrangements. You can do like one big one, which I think is, you know, well, you'll see it in a minute. A bigger size. You could do 4 to a sticker page. You could even do 9 to a sticker page and do them really tiny, which is what I plan on doing on this page. So I'm going to make them small book covers, and I just am going to cover this whole entire page with all of the book covers that I've read for the entire year. And I did make a little Dutch door, and I think if I calculated correctly that I will have enough space to do it. They will just be right up against each other on all 4 pages. And I can't wait to see this filled out. I think it's going to be really cool. Hopefully I'm correct. Okay, and then here is my 2024 book bracket, which this is my first year, I think, to do a book bracket. I've never done it before. Mostly because I'm worried that I will have some months where I have a ton of favorite books, and then some months where I don't have any favorite books, which I'm not sure how accurate that will end up being, but this is going to be a test run, I guess, this year, and if it doesn't work, then I won't include it next year. But it's going to be fun to do. So this, again, is going to be book covers. As you can see, January and February will compete against each other, and the winner will go here, etc., you know, from both sides until we get to the middle. This, like I said, this is like one page. So that's how big one page from my Ivy would be. And then these sizes here that I already have marked out is 4 to a page. So yeah, they're going to come together and hopefully accurately tell me what is my favorite book of the year. Oh, and as you can see, so this is where it switched. The Neapolitan Journal switched from white pages to craft pages. Okay, and then here is my A to Z reading challenge, which I have also done in the past and never completed all the way. I don't know if I will get it completed this year too, if I'm being honest with you, because it's really hard to find a book that starts with X, Z, and Q. So I don't know. You tell me, have you done it in the past? And are you very, very strict and stick exactly to, you know, the book title must start with the letter X? Or when you get to X and Z, is it just that, you know, the author's name can start with that, or that letter can be somewhere in the title? I don't know. We'll see when I get to those. I know I have one book on my shelves that starts with X, but I don't know if I'm going to read it this year. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Okay, and then this is my book of the month challenge spread. Like I said, I think this came up on their website on like December the 30th, I think is when they revealed it. And this is another little Dutch door situation here as well. But right here is the book boss. So they want you to read 15 books. And then 5 of those should be debut darlings if you want to get this badge. 4 of them should be over 400 pages. I think it's 400 this year. And then 5 of them you should write reviews on, which should not be any big deal because I always write reviews on there when I mark up a book as read. And then 6 of them should be from different genres. So I think I can do this. If I read the 15 books, I think the other things, the other challenges will just fall into that. So we'll see how that goes. Although, you know, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, is it that I have to read 15 before I can move on to these? Or is it that these are all going on simultaneously? I know in the past they had them going simultaneously, but the way it's set up on the app looks different than previous years, which almost makes me think that I have to complete this first before I can do the other ones. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this little flip through over here is my backlist of all the Book of the Month Club books that I own but haven't read yet. Yes, it is quite a lot, but I have them separated by years, starting with 2018. Those are the oldest ones that I have from them, all the way to 2024. Today is January the 2nd, so I have already ordered a January box. There were, well, The Fury, I was anticipating, and then a few of these other ones were ones that were on people's best of lists for 2023, and I just couldn't resist, so there they are. Yeah. Anyway, and I have space if I buy more throughout the year. The only bad thing about the Book of the Month Club Challenge is that they only count books from the current year and the year prior. So I can only read 2023 and 2024 to count for these challenges, which totally stinks because obviously I have way more books from previous years. So I'm going to have to try to figure out some way to incentivize reading these older books from 2018 to 2022 because I have so many more of them. So if you have ideas on how I can do that, I sort of wish I had left an extra page just for the backlist ones to do this separately for the older ones just for myself. Maybe I can put that in the back of my journal because yeah, whenever I made this, I was thinking, oh, maybe this year they're going to let us count every book we've ever bought from them, but no, I clicked on them just to see, what would happen. And it said, no, this book is not eligible for this challenge. Yeah. Anyway, next challenge. So now I just have a whole bunch of genre challenges. Well, first the Buzzword Readathon, which is hosted by Books and Lala. I'm sure you've heard of this challenge. It's been going on for several years, and Books and Lala is like, the biggest booktube channel. But I did leave a space. I'm going to put in the book covers for each and every month. I'm hoping to do these by month and hopefully do them if there is a, Book of the Month Club book that I own that matches one of these challenges. I would really like for that to work out. And if not Book of the Month, just, physical books that I already own. Okay, and then I made myself several just genre challenges here to try and work on my own physical TBR or my NetGalley TBR or Kindle, etc. So I don't know how well you can see this. I might have to zoom in. But anyway, this first one is a thriller reading challenge. So I just came up with different challenges for each month. I don't know if you want me to go over each one of these, but basically, like January is an isolated setting, July, missing person, November, multiple POV, etc. Just different things that you find in thrillers. And I also made a romance one and a cozy mystery one. Same kind of thing each month, just something that you generally find in those types of genres. A historical fiction one and a fantasy sci-fi one. Now, do I think I will fill in all of these boxes? Probably not, but I am hoping that it is going to help me really pull from my shelves, because I did try to think about, books that I own and whether or not, I had a school setting for fantasy on my shelves already, which I do. So yeah, that type of thing. Anyway, if you are interested in what each one of these months is, you can let me know in the comments, and I can certainly make a list for you or take a closer picture and post it on Instagram, something like that. Anyway, moving on, this is my graphic novels and manga series that I'm in the middle of, series tracker. And as you can see, here is where it switches to black paper. It's going to cycle back through all of the colors. Anyway, so these ones, I just use boxes for each series because each volume is not named something different. It's just 1, 2, 3, whatever. So I just put in the amount that's out right now. Some of them are completed, so that's nice, but some of them, are ongoing. And then I colored in the ones that I have read so far. This is my book series tracker, which probably took the most time out of any of these spreads, honestly. This is covered in PET tape or PET tape. I'm not really sure which way you're supposed to say it. And that in itself took a long time. I do like the way it turned out, but it did take a long time. And then I had to draw all of these boxes, and I made little flips because that's how many series I'm in the middle of right now. Yeah, I have 3 flips of series, which is crazy. There's a little space here in case I need more, and then this page is empty as well. Some of these I'm really close to the end. Like, I only have 2 books left in this series, and it has been that way for several years, embarrassingly enough. This one, I only have 1. I read the other 2 this past year. So I'm really hoping to complete some of these and not add too many, because this is quite overwhelming. Or maybe I just need to decide, like, wow, this series has been on this list for really, several years, and I'm not reading it, so maybe I just need to exit out. I don't know. Yeah, I did also discover whilst making these spreads that if you're using PET tape, that it is hard to glue stuff on top of. So you can't just use like regular tape lines or glue sticks or that kind of thing. I actually had to glue these down with super glue. Yeah, and not like extra strength, because that would seep through this paper on the top. It's like medium strength, I think. Anyway, that was the only way to glue stuff down to PET tape. Just a little tip if you ever use it. Okay, this one is where my color scheme just kind of like, I don't know. But this, I really like these colors, but I was trying to stick more with like muted colors, for all of the other pages. And then here I was like, oh, bright, let's go bright. Anyway, this is my TBR Trackers page, which I'm going to be honest with you, you may never see this page again, but I did want to show it to you from the beginning. And the reason why you probably won't see it again is because I'm going to fill in all of these numbers of exactly how many of these categories I own as of January the 1st. Physical, NetGalley, manga, Kindle, book of the month. Things that I haven't read yet in each of those categories. And then, each month I'll fill it in at the last day of the month, and I'm hoping that these numbers go down by the end of the year. And this last column is to show a plus or minus difference at the end of the year. So, one of my goals was to reduce my TBR and reduce my NetGalley, so this is how I'm going to track it. And the reason why you probably won't see it again, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but honestly, in the past when I have said publicly how large my TBR is, I have gotten a lot of comments that that just were sort of hurtful. So I am not going to put that out in the world again, because I finally learned that if I don't want people to say something about it, then maybe I shouldn't bring it up in the first place. But we'll see. I mean, 98% of the comments I get are nice, wonderful, encouraging comments, but there are always those 2% of people who think that they have the right to say whatever they want to you because it's on the internet. And okay, that's fine, I understand, but was this like a therapy session? I sometimes don't feel strong enough to handle negative comments, and so it's probably best for my mental health just not to put that out in the world anyway. But this is what it looks like at the beginning, and I'm going to fill it in every month and see how it goes. So it's kind of okay that this color scheme that I used here doesn't really match the rest of the journal, because it's not one that I'm going to show every month. And I did draw this little girl with pink hair reading a book myself and then like glued it in. Okay, and then that's the last of the yearly spreads, and now we're moving into the monthly spreads. So this is my spread for January. As you can see, I went with the winter theme. I am hoping that it snows here in North Carolina this year, so I'm manifesting that snow. I don't want to play in it, but I want to sit by the fireplace and look at it. So anyway, so here I just have a title page, I had, you know, like I was talking about, that ephemera packages from Amazon that had like penguins and white wolves, and this is more PE tape. She kind of just matched this, and so I put her in here because I think she's pretty. Anyway, and then here's going to be my book record for the month, where I write in title and author, the stars for each book, the page count, the genre, what part of my TBR it was from, so if it's, you know, physical, NetGalley, Kindle, etc. And then this is for what challenge it's for. So if it's for the buzzword challenge or for one of those other challenges, you know, that I came up with on my own, then I'm gonna mark it here. And then there are a ton of pages left, obviously, for the other months. So the other thing, what I am planning right now is to put the book cover of each book that I read each month in the following pages and write a little bit about it. Probably put my star rating and, you know, just do a little spread for each book. Probably a half page or maybe a third, so I'm not sure how it's going to work out yet. And then, you know, then I'll do February, etc., etc. So yeah, that is it. That is everything that I have set up so far. I'm sorry that this video was so long. I don't know, I guess I just got chatty. Anyway, let me know down in the comments if you are doing a book journal this year. What kind of book journal are you using? Are you having fun filling it out? I'm sure that you are. And what books you are looking forward to reading this year. I'm super excited about my 2024 reading. I watched a ton of like favorites of the year and got really excited for several books that people like really raved about, some that I already had on my shelves, so that made it easy, and then a couple that like those ones from the Book of the Month Club that I went ahead and purchased. And yeah, there's a couple of pre-orders that I'm really excited about that come out early in the year as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will check in with you periodically to show you how I'm updating my journal and what books I've read throughout the month. And I look forward to seeing you this year. I hope that you have a great 2024, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.